Alright guys, gonna do a little update. Today is August 18th. It's 10:30 in the morning right now. I think it was 2 nights ago we finally got some much needed rain. We picked up 1.5 inches. You can see our third crop. Hay is coming back. So hopefully we'll have some more hay here before long. And I mentioned that last baling video that I had put fertilizer on before I cut the hay. Well, it looks like it's working because it's growing pretty quick. But I wanted to come out here and check the silage corn because on next Monday, the local seed company or seed dealer or store, whatever you want to call it, the company's name is Seeds and Stuff. I buy a lot of my seed from them. They have, they're gonna do a silage burn down, or to check the moisture in the corn next Monday. Then they have a meal and whatever. They're pretty good for having a couple customer appreciation meals and stuff throughout the year. And it's getting to be that time, so I wanted to walk out here and see where the deer have been wreaking havoc on my corn here. The weeds are starting to grow quite well, and if they could get like grasses and stuff that you would plant in your hayfield to grow in a drought as well as weeds do, could make a lot of hay. But so I can get out here past all the shitty corn where the deer have been going crazy on it. Look at some of this corn out here. A buddy of mine, the pig farmer, he was looking at their corn the other day, and he had tried to pull a larger ear of corn, but not the largest, and 20 rows and 44 kernels long. No, that was planted a month earlier than mine, so mine's not going to look like that, but we'll look at this one here. I don't know how this is going to work one-handed, but I should use my Go Vision glasses more, but they take so long to upload the videos for some reason versus the Sony camera. There's 16 rows around on this one. Forty kernels long. I don't count the last couple here, and I don't count a lot of these little ones at the end, but it's not really denting yet. So a couple more weeks before we do corn silage here. But I do chop my corn silage while it's still pretty green. I pile it on cement, and 3 years ago I did not cover it. 3 or 4 years ago I did not cover it with plastic. I just packed it really well and then left it uncovered, and it got about a 3-inch crust on top. And I believe this year I am not going to cover it again, because when I put plastic on top of it and the damn deer climb over top the pile, they puncture the plastic, and then I get mold pockets in there that go over a foot down into the silage. So I think this year we are going to not cover it. So I will be putting it up a little bit on the greener side, higher moisture. And I've had good luck doing it with a little bit higher moisture, being it's on a pile, versus a lot of you guys that put it in a bag or whatever, or in a silo, you want lower moisture. So yeah, and then, so that's what the corn's looking like. And I've got some other issues to discuss too. I got the 7/18 chopper in a shop last week, and I was gonna repair that pan. And I went down and bought a sheet of 10 gauge, and I welded on that pan and tried putting it in there, and there's not enough clearance. So needless to say, the 7/18 chopper is not going to get used this year. As you can see, it's sitting outside right now. We'll walk over there. It's probably going to be a parts machine. I called Value Implement, got a price on a new pan for it, $900. So for right now, the 7/18 is gonna just sit there. I might pull the corn head off. I have a 7/17 or Super 7/17 that I used last year. I may end up using him again this year. I'm not for sure. It has a 2-row wide head on it, and if I do use it, I'm just going to use 1 row at a time. I don't know that I'm going to take this head off and put it on that 7/17. The neighbors of mine have a 7/70 sitting there that they don't use anymore, and they were going to haul to the scrap yard. Supposedly it did work. I might talk to them and see how much they want for it for scrap price or whatever, and I might bring it home and see if the knives are good enough in it that I can get it to work. I might put this head on that 7/70 and use it. I don't know. I like to find a 2-row head, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a corn head. Yeah, and the 770s are down here. Here's the corn head for the combine that I took off. All these weeds, I need to try and keep ahead of my weeds a little better. I got the Ferguson rake sitting outside. I have not ordered the belt for it yet. I just got out of the shop, so it's out of the way. I'm not going to order the belt yet. I don't feel that I'm going to need it this year, so I'm going to wait till next year. But you can see there's one 7/17 sitting there, and then there's another one. My bedding chopper's on the other side, and I need to get them dug out one of these days. But I need to talk to the neighbors there and see what they want for those 7/70, or that 7/70. Like I say, and see if it's even worth buying it, even for scrap price. Problem is, I don't think the knives in the 7/18 will go in that 7/70, which the 7/18's got. They were better than 50%. They've never even been on the one side, and this has double beveled knives in it. So, the one side of the knife is still new, and the other side is 50% yet. So, really, there's 75% of the knives left. It's just that pan costing so much, and there's some other issues with it that need to be addressed. To me, I don't think it's worth sticking any money into that one. Maybe, if nothing else, if I can find a nicer one, keep this one for parts or whatever. So that's kind of what's up with the 7/18. There's the straw bales. 12 straw bales back there. So yeah, it's and you can see all these corn cobs here. I shelled out one hopper in the combine of my cob corn, so I could have some shell corn for the pigs, and then I use the most of the cobs and the husk that come out the back of the combine to bed the cows down. I can show you guys that here. So I got 3 gravity boxes sitting in the shed with feed in them. Corn in one, rye in one, oats in another. But so this was one hopper on the combine, and I set it so it's supposed to crack the kernels and leave some cob in there. Well, I didn't get any cob, but some of it is cracked. Not very much, but some of it is. So yeah, I ran some of that cob corn through the combine, like I say, to get some shell corn. I'm not really putting any protein in my pig feed, so, and I think with the cob corn there's too much fiber in their diet. And you can see I just I left the head, I put the head down to the ground, and then I was dumping the corn over the backside by the auger while the front filled up. And of course I broke about 6 rock guards doing it that way, which, whatever, rock guards are cheap. And actually it went really fast doing it. So one of these days I need to get the combine back up to the shop and change those rock guards. And there's a couple bolts that come loose on the sickle drive. Or not really a sickle drive, but there's a mount where the drive sits on. Needs some bolts added to it or replaced. And so yeah, I shelled some corn with it. So I run some corn through the combine. Trying to get my cob corn pile gone. And then I grown feed for the creep feeder for the calves, and I just grown cob corn for them. But so the cob corn pile is finally getting down. I want to get this used up and out of here so I can take this corn crib down. It's like I'd mentioned in another video, I plan to take the roofs off my chopper boxes. It'll reduce their capacity for silage, but I want to be able to store shell corn in them over the winter. So in the back of the Forage Kings, the back door is hinged, but it has a rubber thing on the bottom so silage and grain will not fall out the back. I just figured I'd build a steel plate in the front where it'll hold the corn in away from the beaters, but then leave it up high enough that I can turn it on and pull corn out the bottom for grinding corn. So I need the room to be able to park those boxes inside, and with the roof on them, even if I took the tin off the roof, the combine isn't high enough to fill the boxes. So I'm gonna end up taking the roofs off, which is fine, and then that way they'll fit inside the lean-to here so I can get them inside. And the gravity box that has corn in, that's a neighbor's that borrowed for right now. So you can see I spilled oats when I mixed feed the other day for the calves. But there's the oats. Pathetic looking pile of oats from 4 acres. But the oats themselves look good. I just think next year we need to put nitrogen on them. So I did run the fan on them for 2 days, but then I shut the fan off. Was gonna turn it back on the next day. It was really humid one day, and I didn't figure the fan blowing humid air inside the pile would be much good, so I shut it off. I checked it that night and it really wasn't warm, so I shut the fan off. But so yeah, otherwise not much else going on here. Just hopefully gonna do corn silage here in the next couple weeks. Got my sprayer and the gator, and I normally have that 35-gallon tank in here with water, and then I bring a 2.5-gallon jug of Roundup with me, and sprayed a bunch of the fence lines and stuff yesterday. So that's pretty much all that's going on here. You see we finally got some rain. The hay is growing back. One of these days I'll try and get over and make a bean video too. A lot of the beans are waist high. loaded with pods. So the beans are doing really well. I wish I had planted a lot more acres of beans this year than corn, but it is what it is. So yeah, you can see out there all the orchard grass is growing back nice. So hopefully, end of September, I can cut third crop hay and we'll be good for the winter. So anyways, guys, that's just a little update on the corn and the chopper situation and stuff. So please comment, rate, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one.